Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie, will premiere on July 21st, 2014, in Hollywood at the famous Grauman's Egyptian Theater. Yeah, that means that we think the movie's going to be done by then. It has to be now. We finally set a hard deadline after all these years because before it was impossible to guess, but now that we're in the final stages doing music and sound, it's a lot easier to estimate. And I can't think of a better place to premiere it because, in case you didn't know, the Egyptian is where the first Hollywood premiere ever happened. That was Robin Hood in 1922. And even Return of the Jedi premiered here. So it's going to be great. The theater's been restored, and today it's being operated by the American Cinematheque. I'll be at the premiere, of course, and then that same week I'll be heading down to San Diego to a little convention you might have heard of called Comic-Con. Screening number 2 will take place on July 24th, the first day of Comic-Con, right near the con. This is a big deal because we had to compete with major film studios to get a time slot to show it here because every venue in San Diego gets booked that weekend. The whole city becomes Comic-Con, so it's going to be really awesome to show the movie in a city that becomes the pop culture center of the world for one weekend each year. Next, I'm coming back to the East Coast to screen it in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania at the historic Colonial Theater, which is where The Blob was filmed. And then we have more dates spread around the U.S. These ones are just screenings, not personal appearances, so I won't be at them. August 6th, we have Chicago. August 7th, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, one near Denver, one near Boston, San Francisco. And then August 8th, we have one in New York City, and I'll be attending that one, the New York City screening. Tickets to all these screenings are going to go on sale very soon, so keep checking in right here on Cinemassacre.com because this is where I'm going to post them first. So this is the first place where you'll hear about them. So check in right here, and I'll also might as well mention I'm going to be attending PAX, Penny Arcade, huge gaming convention in Seattle. This one is still in the works. We don't have the date yet. And there may be more conventions, film festivals, or theaters. So this is most of the dates, but we're probably going to be adding some very soon. So whenever something new happens, whenever there's a new date added, to the tour, I'm going to post it right here. So keep checking in. I should also plug while I'm at it that prior to all these screenings, I'm going to be at the Too Many Games convention in Oaks, Pennsylvania, and the Screw Attack Gaming Convention, SGC, in Dallas, Texas. These are just personal appearances. No movie yet because this is before the movie's going to be done. So, like I said, keep checking in here for updates. But one thing that I think is important to know is that we're booking all these theaters on an individual basis. This is an independent film. This is not a mainstream movie that goes out to all theater chains all across the world. No, we're arranging deals with these theaters one at a time. So we've covered the United States really well, and we put a lot of work into it. We went by actual statistics of how where the population is and where most of the traffic comes into the site and stuff like that. And it's been a lot of work, but I know that we have fans all over the world who want to see this movie. And whenever I'm asked, will you bring the movie here? Will you bring the movie there? Of course, I'd want to. So, I'd want to show it everywhere I could. And we could keep adding dates for years, and we could keep this going for years, but I don't want to drag it out that long because eventually, by the end of the year, we release a DVD and a Blu-ray and some kind of online version, a digital download of some sort when we figure that out. So all that's going to come at the end of the year for the whole, by the end of the year for the whole world to see. And I know what it's like with independent films. How long they take to come out because I've waited for films myself that I've wanted to see, and a lot of times, very often, independent films will show in one theater one night, and it might not screen anywhere else for a year. So we did a really good job blasting this out in such a short time span. So of course I want to bring it outside the U.S. and show it in as many places as possible. But like I said, I don't want to drag it out. And just to reiterate to mostly the younger generations why this is important to show it live first. It's like a lot of people might be like, well, why don't you just put it on YouTube and be done with it? It really, it's a special thing when you get to show a movie on a big screen in a room with a bunch of people. And that's what I was brought up on before YouTube ever existed. I used to run my own film festival, and that was the only way I can get my movies shown. Just get a bunch of people together and show them. And it's really special when you see something with a live crowd and you get that reaction and people laugh and people cheer. It's really important to show it that way first. And this is that kind of movie. This is a crowd reaction kind of movie. So that's why we want to show it in theaters first. But if you're not lucky enough to be able to see it in the theaters, then don't worry, because by the end of the year, it's going to come out. Probably the online version first, because the DVD and the Blu-ray, that's going to take a little longer to get that ready, because we're going to have bonus features and behind the scenes stuff on it. So anyway, the whole worldwide release should come by the end of the year. That's my plan. For now, it's just the theaters, but these screenings, they're just the beginning. So it won't be too much longer now. This is the year of the nerd.